how to trust my intuition again after it failed me so many times. This is the question that I am getting from people around me. When I share with them the importance of intuition and how it speaks to me and how I'm following it, then this question arises. Lily, how can I trust my intuition when I was following it so many times and it led me nowhere? And even when I call to my dad, the moment when I start mentioning the topic of intuition, his reaction is just hilarious. He starts laughing, like, yeah, Lily, keep talking about your intuition, good for you, because I was following my intuition for all of my life and it led me nowhere. So people I see, they got disappointed of their intuition and they don't trust because of that reason that they didn't get what they expected to get before they started following their gut. So in this video, in this podcast, I'm going to share with you the answer that I came to the conclusion by my own experience. How to trust my intuition when it failed me so many times. The answer in the moment. Welcome back, guys. First of all, thank you so much for every and each of your like, share, subscribe, comment. All of this really helps my channel to grow, to expand, to the message be spread widely. And you know what? I really wanted this message exactly about this topic reaches so many people, because so many people, they just don't believe their own intuition anymore, so they don't follow their own guidance. And we can succeed only when we follow intuition, but when we follow it correctly. And today here I will answer how to follow correctly. So let's begin. How to trust my intuition again after it failed me so many times. So, a while ago, I made a video, and you will find it in podcasts as well, about the topic that sounded, did your intuition fail you? And there I was diving deeper in the concept of intuition, what it is, and the purpose of it. So if you're curious to hear it out more in depth, go back, check back, and you will find it. And now I will just sum it up. So the purpose of intuition is to guide you to the places, to people, to situations that your soul needs to experience in order to mature. So we think we're gonna get the desired result, while in fact intuition just leads you specifically to that place, situation, to that person, because you need to learn the lesson that will mature you. And that lesson, if it is learned, it will lead you later on to your manifestation of your wish and desire. Because when it comes to manifestational world, to the energies, how it plays out, how it plays out, before manifests what is, first must manifest what is not. Because when what is not manifests, it creates that void, that emptiness, that later on can be filled with your real manifestation. First, we need to experience negative feelings, emotions. We need to purge everything, all toxins out, in order to attract what is healthy. So if like attracts like, it's not possible to manifest a mature person if you yourself are immature, right? I'm applying it to myself because that's what I'm manifesting actually. And I realized that I met specific people who taught me this lesson, and I was guided by my intuition. Everything just told me, yeah, go, 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 that's exactly your manifestation. And I realized that no, it's not. That person, that place, that situation was meant for me to learn the lesson, to mature me. So then I can become a match to what I really asked for. Because we can't get something who we are not. We can get only something who we are. What we are, what is our, and what we are defines our energetic vibration that consists of our thoughts, that produces the feelings that the cells of the body get addicted to. So it depends which feeling we are addicted to, and is it a balance or is it obsessive addiction? So this is a goal of intuition. It will always lead you where you need to be in order to grow. So you learn your lesson before you become exactly what you asked for. And that's why people get disappointed. Probably now you can recognize it in your own life. But how to trust intuition again after it failed you so many times? How to trust again that if I follow my intuition again, that it won't lead me to hurtful, painful life experiences that I just got out of, right? The answer is to learn the lesson of the past. Because those people who live their life, they follow their intuition, and then they complain that it never worked out for me. Guess what? They never learned the lesson because they didn't practice probably the art of awareness, the art of self-reflection, of going within, looking within, facing the shadow of their own and working on it. That's why it's like keeping the head in the sand. I really like this example. When somebody keeps their head in the sand and the train is approaching them, and they in the sand, they start questioning, asking, I hear some sound, some noise. Is it a train coming, or is it a group, a bunch of elephants running? And I'm like looking to that person with a head in the sand, and I'm like, dude, run! Either way, you're dead. It doesn't matter whether it's train or whether it's elephants. Anyway, it's game over for you. You need to take out your head from the sand in order to learn those lessons. Otherwise, you will repeat the same pattern all over and over and over and over and over again. You will never leave that hamster wheel that you are spinning so fast and non-stop actually. So it takes work with yourself, with your psychology, with your spirituality. It just needs self-reflection, and it takes actually maturity to face your own shadow, because it's not something pleasant. I went it by myself. I went it myself through the shadow work, and I don't know if it's the end already or no. Probably this never ends, the shadow work, because there is always shadow coming up in different situations. But we are able to deal with our shadow. We are able to balance the light and the shadow, because we don't need to eliminate the shadow. We need the shadow. But we need to be aware if the shadow becomes dominant in our life and the light becomes um, shut down actually. So which side of us is more dominant, right? More toxic one or more healthy one? So yeah, that's exactly what it takes to trust intuition again after it failed you so many times. And it failed you so many times because you failed yourself. It's not intuition's fault. It's your own doing. It's the karma that you created with your own choices and decisions in life. With the choices not to look to yourself. With the choices not to take responsibility of your own life into your own arms and waiting for somebody to save you probably. So life will always be easy for you. You don't need to do anything. It's like yeah, self-sabotage behavior, when it's a fear to lift the finger up and start taking action. Start taking responsibility for your own life. Nobody's else's life it is. It's yours. So if you want to get what you want, and if you want that your intuition leads you exactly to your manifestation, to your true heart's desire or many desires, start applying the lessons from the past in the present situation. Not in the future, not being stuck in the past and holding back because of fears of the past, that oh my god, in the past my intuition failed me, so now I'm frozen and I will not make any step, any move, because I'm afraid that I will suffer again. What I understand, I did the same and I learned from that. And actually, you know what? This approach of applying the lessons of the past in the present moment gives so much power, really. When I think to myself, it really increased my my self-esteem and self-awareness about the environment as well, and how I am interacting with it. And when I see in my own behavior how I'm not repeating the same mistakes, how I'm applying the lesson that I learned, I'm getting different results. So it means I'm getting closer and closer and closer and closer to my manifestation, to what I really wanted, to what I really asked for, right? So the same with everybody. We need to learn and to apply those lessons. But in order to apply those lessons, we need to do a self-reflection. We need to turn back to the past. Doesn't matter how much hurtful it was, but turn back, face it, face those feelings, face those situations, and look where you played a part in it. Look where was your lesson. And I promise you, it wasn't only one lesson, it was a bunch, a package of lessons. So as more you will find it, as more you will apply it in the present situation, as more your intuition will lead you to what exactly you want. And I just wanted to share something what fallen on my mind and now it disappeared. Should I pause and continue later? Okay, if I remember, I will come back. Yes, I remembered. I remembered. So what I also want to add for the end, that also it's very important. What I see people are doing the mistake, and I did so many times as well. I'm still learning it as well. That when it comes to manifestations, when we create a wish, a vision, what we want to have, to experience, our mind creates details, how it must look, and we forget to include the heart, the feelings of how it must feel. So when the mind gets stuck on how something must look based on belief system, based on what others told, what others thought, most likely it comes from childhood conditioning. When we create the vision of what we want based on those false foundations of what we were taught, then it's very hard to recognize when that manifestation comes in our life, because it's not how I wanted. It's not how I envisioned that. But envisioning first starts by the heart. Yes, mind just helps to create a vision, but the creation of manifestation starts from the heart. It's all about how we want to feel having that thing, being with that person, traveling maybe. How do we want to feel? So that's why people miss out so much on their manifestations when they just stand in front of their nose but they don't see it, because their mind tells them, no, it's not what I wanted. And you know what? Now one part that I forgot to mention. The scientific part. I mentioned at the beginning that the purpose of the intuition is to is a spiritual reason that it leads you to the specific place, person, or situation, because your soul needs to have that experience in order to grow and mature, in order to expand the consciousness and awareness, right? If you, of course, choose to become more aware, or another choice is to ignore all of that and stay with your head in the sand. But if you choose to grow, then it's a different story. But what I want to say, when it comes to the science, it goes so well together, spirituality and science, and that's why I love to share in this channel both perspectives. When it comes to science, first part of our life, we are dealing with those emotional addictions in our body, with that disbalance with our shadow. Because when we were a kid, we took over so many beliefs, teachings, opinions of other people that created specific feelings that caused our cells of the body to create addiction. Imagine one cell has from 1,000 to 1 million receptors around it, and one cell can observe only one emotion, only one chemical, only one hormone. So imagine if a child was getting constantly the same emotional experience. For example, if it was chaotic, dramatic childhood at home, then every cell of the body probably created millions of receptors around each cell of stress hormone. So if our body is designed to produce stress hormone, guess what? Like attracts like. So of course we will be pulled to those people, places, and situations who are dramatic, who causes us to experience the same emotional experience as in our childhood. And that's why at the first part of our life, we are learning what intuition actually is. At the beginning, we think that we are following our intuition, when basically what we are following is our chemical programming in our body. Our cells are just screaming like, give me that stress hormone, I have addiction, I need to feed myself. The cell is telling to you, right? So even subconsciously, not even realizing it, you will attract another person whose behavior is a dramatic one. And it's explained on quantum physics. It's all the law of attraction is based on the science of quantum physics. Actually, quantum physics just now started explaining the the teachings of the law of attraction. So now imagine, quantum physics say that electron in one atom affects another electron in another atom, regardless the distance, how far or how close those two electrons are, they affect each other in a specific way. So if one electron spins clockwise, then it affects another electron to spin opposite than clockwise. I don't know in English how. So yeah, and those two complement each other. That's why it attracts each other, regardless the distance. That's why people get attracted to those new people who they don't even know, they didn't meet them well, they see them for the first time, for example, but they feel unexplainable attraction, right? It's all because of the interaction of electrons in your cells. In two people, electrons in your body and electrons in another person's body. And that's why it complements, that's why that attraction is so magnetic, so attractive, and you can't explain why you feel as you feel, and you think that, yeah, that's what intuition is, probably because of your own belief system that you was taught, you heard in Hollywood movies, probably, and fairy tales and so on, that, oh, if I feel those amazing feelings, probably that's my intuition is telling me that I need to be with that person. But it's just your body, chemical reaction in your body. And we start understanding what intuition actually is when we learn how to balance our emotions. And that's where emotional intelligence come into play. That's why it is so much important to work on our emotional intelligence. We need to understand our emotions, where it comes from, why we feel as we feel, and are those feelings even ours? In some other podcasts, videos, I will talk about this, how we feel, not our feelings, or how others activate feelings in us, one and the same. But yeah, it's so much important, emotional intelligence, and that's why I am so passionate about what I'm doing. I really love working with people and helping them, assisting them to tap, to raise their emotional intelligence, so then they can tap into their intuition, because our intuition speaks to us when we balance our mind with our feelings. When those two come into one synchronicity, in coherence, it starts working in coherence, then we are able to hear clearly what is our intuition and where it guides us. Still, we need to remember our past lessons. So yeah, that's it for sure for now, and see you in another episode. Please keep trusting your intuition.